it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're zooming in and focusing in on the inner regenerative process that occurs with going no contact after experiencing psychopathic or severe narcissistic abuse and brainwashing. Brainwashing is when a manipulative individual, particularly that of the psychopathic persuasion, an individual who does not have a conscience. Psychopathic, personality disordered individuals are just that. They have a character disorder. One of the main hallmarks is that of a lack of conscience. So they don't have a moral guidepost with which they conduct their life. They do not operate by a sense of right or wrong. They do not feel a sort of remorse or guilt or regret when they violate or hurt others. In fact, they tend to delight in the destruction of others' emotions, families, relationships, financial well-being, health. If someone is getting destroyed, that is how they feel they have made their impact. That is how they feel they have related to this person. This is the core of their memory. Basically, if they can hurt and manipulate and gaslight and brainwash, they feel that they are basically at their best. And there's usually a very cruel element in terms of their ability to lie pathologically. And this witnessing this pathology within an individual that is so profound, so perverse, and so pervasive, and to such a degree, can be very traumatic, especially when you have let them into your life, let them into your heart, let them into your mind. The amount of manipulation and control over your mindset is really very deep. And it changes your perspective on life. It changes your perspective on people. It changes your perspective on safety, security, your sense of reality, your sense of trust. And your core operating system, your central nervous system, in essence, can be sent into shock. And this shock is really kind of the neurotransmitters and your fight or flight symptoms really going haywire and really going on full throttle. So it can be very scary. It can be very discouraging because really one does lose control over their thoughts. One has intrusive thoughts. One has flashbacks. One has, just this wiring of thoughts and this impulse of thoughts that just tend to play over and over and over again. And it makes it very difficult to focus. So these intrusive thoughts, this fear of paranoia, hypervigilance, just have been so tricked, so deceived, so violated, creates this trauma bond within the mind. And the flashbacks start to play, the fear starts to become profound. People can experience post-traumatic stress syndrome. And what is really, I would say, the most traumatic is that depersonalization after the gaslighting, where there isn't a sense of normalcy or emotional connection to life as it exists. And in essence, it's a brainwashing where meanings for things change. And it's very scary because you, in a sense, feel like you're losing control. And this loss of control is an after effect of a manipulative individual who has utilized neuro-linguistic programming. They have utilized their reading of people, and it is their ability to pathologically lie and deceive you and be unscrupulous on such a personal level that creates this very sort of chaotic, depersonalized, very unfiltered sort of traumatic feeling. And it's very difficult to make eye contact with people. It's very difficult sometimes for people to sleep. It's very difficult for people to stop thinking about them. It's just like their mind is on autoplay for this individual. it is if they can't get them out of their mind, they can't get them out of their body. They tend to become obsessive, even if they're not like an obsessive sort of individual. That is the impact of the energy of this toxic individual, which is psychopathic in nature. And remember, the psychopath generally is like a narcissist, but at a higher, more profoundly abusive level, and not physically abusive, and not necessarily needing so much to be the center of the attention, but they become, in essence, the center of your being. They have a way to manipulate and override your own sense of reality and your own emotional direction, and focus on what is important to you, basically your own internal navigating system, your own sense of how to carry your intuition, carry your instinct. Your own instincts are overridden. Your programming is, in essence, destroyed or overwritten by the psychopath and how they wish to program and condition you. And it is, in essence, to be a source of supply. So it's a very completely disempowering state. Disempowering meaning it is not beneficial for you. It is not where you are in control, you are in command. You are, in essence, in a very highly addicted state to this individual's love bombing and their gaslighting and brainwashing, where, in essence, they have flipped around reality and the meaning of reality and how you connect and navigate your life. So it can be very scary, and it can be very overwhelming, and you feel like you're losing control, or you're losing touch with yourself, other people in your environment who you feel you knew. It's like a sense of terror and fear, and combined with a helplessness. And this is an aftermath usually of exposing a psychopathic individual, someone who has a heightened pathology and a very divisive splitting of you from your own operating system, your own friends, your own value system. And in essence, you become addicted to them. You become under their control. And the amount and degree to which you can lose control can be anywhere from your ability to focus, your ability to sleep, your ability to eat, your ability to communicate, and even one's habits can be overridden. So when I say habits, someone who is generally very healthy, does not smoke, does not drink, all of a sudden they will not be able to focus. They'll start smoking cigarettes when they're not a smoker whatsoever. They'll start eating foods that they never ate before. They will start engaging in compulsive masturbation. They will find themselves in high risk behaviors, like trying to stalk or trying to find out where they're at and find their receipts, or just trying to settle the score, trying to come to some sort of closure, trying to come to some source of reality, because this individual has made them feel so quote unquote special. But this is the aftermath of love bombing. And one of my clients, had experienced this experience of love bombing through, this psychopathic individual who was 10 years older than her and in financial services, and used a lot of triangulation with others in their office, and had, in essence, was probably cheating on her and, engaging in a lot of lewd, high testosterone, highly promiscuous, high-risk sexual activity, which is, again, very much a hallmark of a psychopathic individual, and how they manipulate others is through sex, and through sex talk, and through sex images, and really blowing it up in the mind of those individuals. They have a way to very much seduce and do a lot of dirt talk, sex talk, that to the, quote unquote normal individual who might have, high sex appeal, this is just on a whole nother grit level that is very filthy, but yet the individual then feels like this is their Prince Charming or Princess Charming because of how blissful or how sedated or how zombie-like or how addicted this person makes them feel because of their heightened sexual arousal and their annihilation and violation of boundaries by oversexing them, in inappropriate places, inappropriate times, etc. So if you are in this toxic state, you please feel free to contact me at peaceandharmonynow@gmail.com. I'd be happy to consult with you on how to help get you through this situation. It's very difficult, very scary. But I want to encourage you to go no contact with this individual and learn, yes, about it, but learn more about yourself and how you had fallen into this type of relationship, and go no contact. Do not look at pictures of them. Do not trigger yourself. Do not mull over them in your mind with, thinking, what did I do wrong? You need to go no contact, which means even no thought of them. You need to stop the thoughts of them. You need to get yourself cleansed, and you need to do the affirmations, and you need to do the vision board. You need to do the recovery journal and focus on your own internal state as it exists outside of this individual to get back to your sense of normalcy and to get back to your regular cadence of life where you're not feeling so out of control and terrorized. And it is only in the no contact, the cleansing of images, the cleansing of thoughts, the cleansing of their touch, their voice, their picture, their images, their gifts, that you really get a chance to come back to your sense of reality, your sense of normalcy, your sense of security. And as I talk about in the recovery journal, it's important to nurture all of your senses and surround yourself with pleasing music, pleasing food, keeping health a priority, keeping exercise, being around very comforting fabrics, touches, sights, things of that nature to really kind of cleanse you back and get you back to your sense of groundedness. You need to go no contact from this individual without a doubt. There's nothing you have to benefit by going back to them. You are not missing anything by not being with them. It's not better for anyone else involved, no matter what their shell relationships, shell marriages. You have nothing to be desired there. It gets ugly, and it gets ugly for especially the very naive and weak person who stays with them. And I really do feel sorry for those individuals who do stay with them for prolonged periods of time, because they have a lot of healing to do after they expose the individual for who they are and what they've done. And so because of this profound neurochemical addiction that has been set in your mind and in your body and in your personal drive and your identity, you need to go no contact so your body can start to reset itself, reboot, and begin to regenerate new feelings, new emotions, new visions, and most importantly, work on a vision for your future and how you would like to become, how you want your life to be, and keep that in front of you. Keep writing, keep on your recovery journal, focusing on the things you want to do, be, and have, and become, and focus on those things that you want, even, especially the emotional states you want, the physical things you want, yes, the certain goals and objective you have, yes. The trips and vacations you want to take, yes. The relationships, yes. But furthermore, focus on the lessons learned from this relationship so that you don't continue to repeat this and perpetuate this cycle of abuse. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.